We are live. Actually, I want to thank you for joining us on the replay and visiting with us. We're going to be talking today, having some Q&A on the EIDL increase. And
that's what we're talking about?
We're talking about, that's what we're talking about.
Cool.
The news just came out.
More money?
About more money with
money.
Submitting requests for the EIDL increase. We're going to talk about basically how this is going to go down, just so you know, is I'm going to be a regular business person. I am joining all of you out there.
Wait, what am I going to be?
And you're going to be the
Do I get to play a part?
Yes.
I want to be a part of this. What part do I get to play?
The loan processor.
I don't want to be a loan processor. Nobody wants to be a loan processor.
You are the loan processor.
I want to be the loan officer.
The loan officer. Well, yes. Well, you're the loan officer. Well, historically, you have been the loan officer for over 30 years.
We rehearsed this on a script that I would be the loan officer / underwriter.
We never rehearse on a script ever. Okay. So, all right.
I'm definitely not the loan processor. I'm the loan officer.
You're a loan officer that knows how to manage loan processors.
Right. So you're the regular person, the regular business person.
Yes.
And I'm the loan officer. And we're going to talk about the SBA's invitation to increase your EIDL loan.
Yes.
And how that plays out in your brain as a regular business owner. And how it plays out in my loan officer brain.
Yes.
Oh, this is going to be interesting, folks.
No, this is going to be interesting. And let me give you a little insight, since I live with this guy.
Give it to us, woman.
What's going on? Okay, first of all, one of us was listening to Rush before this.
14 seconds ago, I just turned off Rush.
And one of us took a nap.
I did not take a nap.
Which is why I look like I sort of have some bedhead, but that's okay. Anyway, yeah.
Monday warrior, mean pride. Today Tom Sawyer, mean stride.
So this is why we're going to do. So I'm going to have some regular questions, and I want all of you, we invite all of you to join in with any Q&A that you have, any questions you have. Throw them in the chat box.
Or as they say in the Rush movie, a show of hands.
Hey, Mark Carmona. Hello.
Hey, Mark.
Rush rocks. I did not even know that you had joined us when I mentioned that. So that is
And Mark, I was just watching Tom Sawyer and Limelight Subdivisions just a moment ago.
Nice to see you. And Teresa is with us. Hey. Let us know where you guys are tuning in from. And thanks again for tuning in and hanging out with us, because we're going to have it's going to be a balance. It's going to be some good stuff. It's going to be some not so good stuff.
Well, when she says not so good stuff, it's because I'm the loan officer and I'm the one that's going to rain in everybody's parade. By the way, Teresa Dickerson, we need to talk, because this new development, I think, is going to be very good for you. So
yeah, so
some help for you.
So bam, this is our first banner of Isabel Guzman has already stepped up to the plate, has hit the ball.
Hey, can I ask a question?
What? I'm in the middle of a metaphor.
Who was right about Isabel Guzman?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Trevor likes to be right.
Who was right?
Who was right? Let's give it to him.
Who was right? Mark Komoda. Who was right about Isabel Guzman? This guy.
Yeah. So, while live from San Antonio, 2 kids and a cheese and a cheese bread. You know what? Listen, I don't have kids, but I'll take cheese bread any day. Thank you very much. So basically, Isabel has. Don't interrupt me this whole time. Do not. I already can. I can hear your face. I can hear your face. All right. Yes, Trevor was right. And
you got my attention.
Hey, Darren Johnson. Yeah.
I'm a garden gnome.
Hello.
You stopped talking. What happened?
I don't know. I don't know.
They call that dead air.
That is dead air. Okay. All right. No, we're good. So, Isabel Guzman in short order had increased the loan amount from the EIDL from 150 to 500, working capital from 6 months to 24 months, and the emails are already going out on the reconsideration process. Instead of submitting and applying and blah, blah, blah with everything, they're rolling out already. Emails are going out.
What day did they send it out?
Yesterday.
And what day was also yesterday?
April 6th was the day
that Isabel Guzman said, we're going to launch it. And guess what Isabel Guzman did? She launched it on the day that the SBA said they were going to launch it, and it launched.
Yes.
What?
So that is.
I love it when I'm right.
Now, hold on. Now, so this is where I'm going
Kathy Lee.
So this is where I'm going to be the regular business person and say, okay, this is fantastic that the emails are going out.
Fantastic.
But this is the question we're getting on the YouTube as well as just,
Facebook, clients.
Yes. Okay, it's one thing that the emails went out on the day they said it would, but now what about the funding? Now, what do we don't know. By the way, a lot of everything that we talk about is speculation. So, but let's talk.
Wait, that's my part. I'm the loan officer. I'm the one who's supposed to rain in everybody's parade today.
So, Trev, let it rain, Trev. Let it rain on the reality of not knowing what the funding process is going to be.
You're like, that's pretty cool. What the funding? And it is Wednesday, WTF Wednesday. What the funding? Well, let me ran the parade. First of all, the emails went out. 4:30 yesterday afternoon, I got one of the emails forwarded to me by one of our clients, and I was shocked, and we jumped on it, and we put a template together, and last night 40 plus emails went out to our clients who were entitled to an increase in their loan amount, and we had them cut and paste and send their emails in. I didn't want anything to muck up the work, so we sent it out. But the fact is, we don't know how this is going to go, because all the email says is to send in basic information about your business. Essentially, just what I call EIDL info. Like for each one of our clients, I have an electronic notebook, and each client's EIDL info is in there. It's the name of the business owners, the EIN number, address, phone number, et cetera, and the EIDL number if they have an EIDL. And essentially, the SBA just wants you to send in that basic information. And they basically say, we'll work on the files in the order in which they're received, which is first come, first served.
Can I interrupt?
Yes, you can interrupt.
I'm going to interrupt.
Yeah, interrupt, because I know what this is going to lead to.
I'm wearing my regular business person hat.
I'm wearing my Roxbury hat.
For those of you who are familiar with YouTube and that we have a YouTube channel, there's also what they call shorts, and they're videos that are under 60 seconds. So we have one, we put one up today that was a preamble to this show. And basically in that video, Trevor says, first come, first serve. And rightfully so, someone was like, wait, because of the way things have gone, he was like, whoa, what does that mean? And it does not mean.
I wasn't like that.
No,
somebody on
YouTube, they were wondering, what does that mean? So it does not mean the money's running out and you can't get it. It means
the money's not going to run out. Okay, let's just be clear. This is not the PPP program, which some of our other YouTube talking faces I came across when I was checking out the Rush videos in YouTube a few minutes ago. There was a couple of talking faces that popped in my feed, and one of them's like, the money's going to run out on PPP. You really think that the Biden administration is going to allow the PPP program to run out of money after they just made all these dramatic changes to it, to give gross income self-employed, extend it to make their, you really think they're going to let it run out of money? Come on. They didn't let it run out of money last year. It's not going to run out of money. Now, to the EIDL, the EIDL cannot run out of money. Do you know why, Linda?
Because
think aircraft carrier.
Yes, he loves this metaphor.
I love
this is Navy. Another metaphor.
Go Navy, U.S. Navy.
By the way, I see the questions coming in. So before you go off the way you do, let's respect the questions that are coming in, since this was set up as a Q&A.
Well, I want to really don't want to talk about PPP. So if you guys want to ask PPP questions, we're not really going to deal with those tonight. We're here talking tonight about EIDL and the reconsideration process.
And here we go. Mark Carmona.
About asking for more money. We don't know what they are, Mark. That's the thing. The email doesn't say this is a loan request. It doesn't say a reconsideration. It says certain businesses may be entitled to an increase. And so if you wish to request an increase, send in your basic information, including your EIDL number, your SBA disaster loan number, business information, owner, and email it to, and they created a special email address for it, and you have to send it into that email address. So you allegedly will get an email from them if you have an EIDL loan and SBA thinks you might want more money.
I just want to say hi to Robert Dunham. if this is who I think it is, Robert, on Twitter, we have been going back and forth. Robert should be on the show with us right now. That guy is in the know and has been in communication with a lot of various influential people that are going to be part of how things are changed. So, hey, Robert, thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in, Robert. What we do at Aurora Consulting, we don't know anybody. We don't know anybody at the SBA. We don't know, although one of our clients did say in response to the Isabel Guzman Rockstar email, he said, "Is she married? Is she single?"
Oh, by the way, I have these.
But we don't. So we don't know anybody of influence like you do, Robert.
This is my Isabel Guzman.
What we do is we help folks like Mark and Teresa and Kathy Lee actually get their loans through the system. So we're doing EIDLs every day of the week. We live, breathe, and eat this stuff 7 days a week, except this. I don't even know what this is. My eyes are in pain.
This is in honor of Isabel Guzman.
Can I shield that?
I got this at the party store. I had to figure something out to wear. Okay.
So because we're doing this and because I speak to SBA agents every day and respond to SBA emails and work on files every day and see the document requests and see the problems that you all have out there with your EIDL processes, that's what informs this. But more to the point, what informs this is that I'm a real loan officer.
Yes.
See how I squeeze that in there?
I know. Well, you've been lending money to people. Like Trevor was the bank, so he is very he has a different brain when it comes to the money and applying for the money and helping people get money out of the bank. So, you know, I do know. That's
why I'm the loan officer and you're not.
I know. Well, first of all, this banner has to go up. Thank you, Mark. Thank you,
Mark. Thank you, Mark. So
we have a question coming.
I want to before we start answering questions, I just want to kind of give an overview. And Linda said to me, "Don't say what I'm about to say," but I'm going to say it. And here's the thing: we don't know. We don't know anything.
I didn't say that.
And anybody who says they know, and I've already seen some posts on Facebook and some on YouTube where people are saying, you know, oh, this is how they're going to do it.
Now,
nobody knows.
First of all, Starshine, I just love saying that. Okay. But Starshine do you think it'll be easier to get extra loan money? So that I can see you saying you're not sure. You don't know.
Well, we don't know, but I do want to address the second part of your question, Starshine, which is I'm having a lot of trouble getting my targeted advance funding. I'm very tired and discouraged. Let's just use the last sentence there, folks. Yeah. I'm very tired and discouraged. This is where my loan officer brain differs from all of you. I don't get tired and discouraged. Well, I do get tired. I mean, I am 60 years old, but I get tired.
You were complaining today.
Today I was feeling tired.
How tired he was.
Wednesdays are literally a hump tired day. But going back to tired and discouraged, I don't get discouraged at all. The first reconsideration that we had approved was in April of last year. It was for client number 2. A restaurant, and it was declined. And the loan officer said, the reason you cannot get this EIDL loan, Mr. Restaurant Owner, is because you defaulted on a previous SBA loan. And when I called the guy, he says, yeah, that was 15 years ago. I had a restaurant, it failed, blah, blah, I filed bankruptcy. And I thought in my loan officer brain, that makes no sense to me. And so I argued it and we filed a reconsideration. And lo and behold, guess what? Got it approved. You know why? Because that's how I think as a loan officer. That's why, Starshine, if you are discouraged, what I say to folks like you when they call for our free phone consultations, what I say to folks like Teresa Dickerson and Mark Carmona, Mark's our client, and Kathy Lee, what I say to you all is patience, persistence, process leads to result. Now, that's it.
It is okay. Regular person hat.
I'll drink water now.
This is when actually he and I go into opposite ends of the house in separate rooms because
literally we text each other from across the house.
He has a different outlook on it and I'm not always agreeable on, because I know that not being a loan officer, not knowing anything about loan processing, not being familiar with, finance, the intricacies and nuances of loan submitting financing requests. I'm like, people don't want to, they don't want to hear to be patient anymore. over with that. That is why there have been so many changes that have had to happen with the SBA and Guzman coming in and making the changes and implementing them as quickly as they have been.
And she has in just a short time.
Because it's insanity.
Okay, but namaste.
Let's do ASMR. Everyone breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Okay.
Here's the thing. It's a government program. You are a taxpayer. The one thing I learned early in my mortgage career when I was doing FHA government loans and I read the rule book, I learned the Congress created the program with the intention of putting the money into your hand. If you apply, if you hang in there, if you are not discouraged, if you are persistent and patient with the process, you will be successful. I am sure of it.
All right, let's go to Alejandro for a second, and everyone, let's clap, golf clap to Alejandro.
This is real clapping.
Real clapping.
Show of hands, Mark Carmona. Show of hands.
So Alejandro, on the grant, the targeted grant, I'm chiming in here because as Aurora Consulting, I got the email for the targeted advance. And I was like, oh, well, that's interesting because it's 3 months late. Number one. Number two, I was like, I mean, we're in an area that is, it's nice here. It's, I wouldn't have suspected we would have gotten one. We went onto the map, and honestly, the map has all around us is eligible except for literally the block that we are on.
And it doesn't mean here at our house. It means our office.
In our office,
in
yes.
the next town.
Yes.
Okay, can we talk about this email that you received? And many people have received in the last Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 6 days. All of a sudden, a whole slew of our clients are getting these emails targeted in advance. And I'm curious, Teresa Dickerson, if you ever received your targeted advance. Teresa and I spoke very early on, and she had a question about that. So, and back then I said to Teresa, I don't know how this is going to shape out, which is, I don't know, sounds like the same thing I'm saying today about the EIDL increase in the loan amount. We don't know, but, and that's why we're here tonight, to give you some loan officer insights, which if you're not getting it, it tends to be very positive. But going back to,
well, Mark's going to Tai Chi,
the targeted advance emails. I don't know why many of our clients who, in my opinion, are not in low-income communities. I mean, our office is not, in my opinion, located in low-income communities. So we don't know how the SBA is sending out or why. But I personally, my cynical New Yorker brain is wondering if there's some data point access collection thing going on that the SBA is looking to do.
Are you talking about the same as these, like the Super Bowl grant? Like
no.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about, because the targeted advance requires you to fill out a gross revenue form to give you a gross revenue from January 2019 through March of 2021 if you're filing it today. And I'm just wondering if maybe this is some mechanism SBA is using to collect some data on, if you respond to the grant email, that means you're alive and kicking as far as a business and you're still interested. And maybe that leads to, I don't know. We don't know why so many people who don't appear to have their businesses in low-income communities are suddenly receiving this. Well, and you're not the only one. A couple of our clients went onto the map also and said, my business is not in the map area, so why am I getting this?
Well, Robert and I, which by the way, I did not know his name is Robert, because on Twitter he has we use our Twitter handles, and and correct me if I'm wrong, Robert, and thank you again for being here, since you had said earlier you may not have time to be here with us. He indicated, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, that maybe it's easier just to send out all the emails than to filter through some of the, finer points of the application that would have indicated that we weren't eligible. Like literally, there's only 5 houses on this block, and we're one of them.
Not here at our house, at our office.
At our office, but our office is in a house. So, Alicia Cobb.
Robert says it's curious why they're asking us, all of us, update our records to be rejected. I agree. I don't know why they're doing it. By the way, target advance, you're right. The email says do not apply if you're not low income. But I got to take that, Robert. I got to toss it out the window with that's going in the trash, that statement, because the fact that they sent the invitation is sufficient that, according to what the SBA has told all of us since February, what it says on the SBA website since February is, don't call us, we'll call you. And if we send you an email, that means, essentially you are qualified. So SBA allegedly is making this decision about low-income community. But again, why so many businesses that appear to be not low-income? But we've got off track. I want to get back to the reconsideration, the loan increase, whatever they're calling it. I want to get back to the email that started going out last night, April 6th.
Well, then Alicia Cobb this is a great segue.
No, you should not be concerned, Alicia. First of all, hello. We got your back, Alicia. We got you covered. Last time I checked, Alicia, you received an email from me last night around 10 o'clock with a template, and you copy and pasted that. And I got a smiley face email from you saying, done. So we got you covered. So you have already submitted your request for the increase. Now, here's where the loan officer in me is going to throw the bathwater, going to throw some cold water on this whole excitement about getting a loan increase. If you think it's just going to be you sending an email and the SBA looking at your file and then just sending you money, you be thinking wrong, because I do not believe that's how it's going to happen. Primarily because the SBA has been on a kick since December to weed out fraudulent loans. Right? So we've talked about this before in our YouTube videos. Most recently, the one we did the other day about unverifiable information, where they're basically declining loans now right out of the gate so that you can then file a reconsideration and submit a tax return and a photo ID and prove that you're a real person, a real business. I believe the same criteria is going to be in place with this request to increase your loan. Interesting thought pops in my head. Are they going to ask us to demonstrate that we have an economic injury? I don't know.
That's somebody asked that question.
I just want to point out one thing out, Loan Office Mortgage Guy. Back in 2008, 2009, 2010, with the global meltdown, the entire United States, for the purposes of doing an appraisal on a house, a residential property, if you were refinancing your house or buying a house, the appraisers in every place in the United States was required to include the following phrase: declining market, because all the values were plummeting back then on hot property values. They'd been hyperinflated to the boom, and then so every appraisal was what's called declining market, which presented a whole set of challenges with trying to get mortgage loans approved back then. So because banks and underwriters don't want to know that your house is worth less 5 minutes after you buy it. Right. So let's bring that and carry that forward to the concept of economic injury during COVID, because we speak to folks on the free consultations we do and our clients who sign up. And the question comes up often, hey, I don't know if I had an economic injury. Listen, if you have a small business in the year 2020 into 2021 while the COVID pandemic is going on, you got an economic injury. Okay. Even if you made more money, even if you made the same money. Do you know why your injury exists? Because if you made more money, because absent COVID, you probably could have made even more. So that's on the positive side. I mean, there are other folks who are just hanging on there.
I'm interrupting you to be a regular business person. We have a restaurant client who's in California, and the thing is, he was flat. So it wasn't like he was losing money, but he was losing money because of all the bottom line, the expenses
on Grubhub, Uber, Lyft,
all the expenses, and all the protocols for the health department, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, primarily the service fees, because I looked at his financials.
And for those of you who have asked questions and we've not addressed them, do not leave us yet, because we're getting back to that. We had One question from 2020 online. Oh my gosh, where is it? It was a really good question. We have too many comments here that, oh, here it is. After we sent, do you think, oh, I think we did answer that.
Well, that's one I was in the process of answering right now, 2020 online. In fact, that you send the email in, I guess the first thing that's going to accomplish is the SBA is going to know you're alive and kicking in terms of you're a real person, a real business, right? Because the fraudsters, are probably not going to send in an email. They really have to be ultra criminally minded to do that. The people
they're out there.
Well, no, but the fraud that went on last year was because this was an online application where you essentially filled out a whole bunch of information on your computer and you hit the submit button and, money showed up in your bank account 3 days later and 2 weeks later, the grant and the loan. That was a fraud that was easy to perpetrate. This is not going to be so easy. So I think the first step is that the email goes out and SBA says, hey, you might be entitled to a request, to request an increase, in which case you've got to send an email in. So that's your first step that says, oh, this is a real business. This is a real person. They're responding to our email. Okay. So you've got that. Secondly, in terms of qualifications, keep in mind an economic injury disaster loan, essentially everybody is qualified. There are ineligible businesses, illegal activity, you're selling marijuana, sex trade type of things, and other types of activity. You can't be a member of Congress, can't be a lobbying organization, can't be certain types of financial services companies, but there are ineligible business. But essentially, it's very difficult not to be qualified for EIDL. That having been said, I would prepare now all of the same documents that we talk about all the time for reconsideration. I would prepare those, because guess what I'm doing here at Aurora Consulting as a loan officer for all of our clients? I'm preparing those documents. They know that. Our clients, we're preparing 2202, 3501, 3502, 4506, reconsideration affidavits, driver's license, voided checks, bank statements, all of that package. So when the SBA says, hey, we want it, boom, it goes right out.
I want to get to Ankur's question. And before I do, I want to address Robert, who this, again, is another segue to how someone was asking if they should submit because they didn't get an auto confirmation. Should he send another email? No.
Send one email.
Right. So don't do that.
Don't worry about the auto responder.
And then
listen, to answer that, the system's going to crash. Okay. It's going to crash. I saw someone on Facebook posted 2 hours ago that they weren't able, and they posted 20 minutes later, oh, I'm in. The system's going to crash. It crashed last year several times. Just par for the course.
Okay.
But just send your email in, but don't send in multiple emails.
Right. Now I did submit increase yesterday for 24 months. I checked my portal this afternoon. It was increased to 129,000.
I don't know what that means, Encore.
So no, I think it means that they did indicate there was an increase, right? So 129 is more than before, right? But that doesn't mean, I don't think it means it's approved.
I think that means you're eligible.
And then they may still ask you for more information.
I think you still have to go in and you have to accept the loan amount just like you did last year. And then you have to submit for processing and then potentially answer identity verification questions, confirm your bank routing number and everything. By the way, you all should be making sure that your account banking routing numbers are all the same this year as they were last year. Remember, if you applied last year, SBA has last year's bank account. What if you've changed banks since then? I've seen that a few times with clients. It's one of the loan officer things that I do that you all don't do. I know you all don't do it because when I've contacted some of our clients, they're like, oh, no, I don't have that bank account anymore. Boom. So this is what I'm talking about, preparing for the activity of SBA coming back and saying, so Encore, again, to answer your question, I think you have to go into your portal and accept the loan amount and then go into and submit that for processing.
And also, if there is still some hoops and things that you have to jump through and you get declined because of unverifiable information, check the video we just did on Friday, this last Friday. It doesn't mean that you're declined from the loan. It just means they may need additional documentation to prove your business entity.
They want to make sure you're real. They're doing, it's a fraud verification check.
Yeah.
That's what it is. They want to make sure you have it's not that they can't verify the information. It's that they want to make sure that you send in a tax return and a driver's license and a voided check and potentially your EIN receipt from when you filed to get if you're an entity, your articles of formation, Alicia, we know about that, right?
So Lily, thanks for joining us. Overall, we had the same revenues in 2020 as 2019, but there were 8 to 10 weeks of 40% reduction in revenue. Does this count for the SBA?
We don't know.
We don't know, but it's really going to depend on the financials on how they review it.
We literally don't know. We don't know. There's no rule book. First of all, there's never been a rule book.
But what's the thing that you say? Apply, always apply.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, I was getting to that. Thanks for jumping my shark. Okay, Lily. Trevor's golden rule is always apply. When I was a mortgage banker, people would say, "Oh, I can never buy a house. Because I have this problem, or I don't have enough money, or this." And I would always say to them, "How do you know until you speak to a banker and get pre-qualified? How do you know if you don't try to buy a house and apply and find out if the bank will approve you or not?" Same thing here. My golden rule, especially because this is a government program where essentially you are entitled to this money. It's your tax dollars that are funding it. And the Congress created the program for you to get the money. Mm-hmm. Always apply.
Yes.
But as far as the 40% reduction, we don't know. The SBA has not indicated anywhere if you have to demonstrate that. And that's not how it worked last year. And we've had reconsiderations approved, and there was no mention of reduction of revenue. That's only for the PPP round 2 and for the targeted advance, low income targeted advance 30%, which in my personal opinion is a lot of BS that's even in there. The 25% for PPP and the 30%. To me, that's a political compromise to shut up the people who did not want to give any of you any money. And there was a political compromise made because this 25%, 30% thing's ridiculous.
Okay, so Erica Brown, hello. Does the SBA pull the credit again during reconsideration, even though they're asking for credit explanation statements?
I'm guessing, Erica, that this is a reconsideration question about a loan that was declined for credit or some other reason. That this is not pertaining to the EIDL increase, because as I keep saying about the EIDL increase, at this point we don't know how the SBA is going to process these requests. Now, to your question specifically, not only should you assume the SBA is going to pull your credit again, but you should actually authorize them to do that. So when you submit your credit explanation, thank you, Erica, I see that you gave the answer. When you submit your credit explanation, you should also provide an authorization. In fact, we did a video. It's here it's in our feed, disaster financing, where we talk about if you were declined for credit. And one of the things I mentioned was you're going to write a letter that says, "I hereby authorize the SBA to obtain an updated credit report."
Yeah. We have this goes back now a couple of months where we have a video on how to write a credit explanation letter. I already know what you're going to write. Okay, where are we now? Okay. I don't think we have any other questions coming up. So
I have a question from Mark Carmona. What Rush song are you going to listen to after tonight's video with us? Golden rule. Yes. Okay. So let's talk about some of my rules that made me successful as a loan officer and helped me put hundreds of folks and family, first-time buyers who said to me, "You cannot put me in a house." And I put them in houses for 30 years. And that has made us at Aurora Consulting spectacularly successful in getting approves. We're sharing notes with each other, and they're not nice. So here's some of my rules that I live by as a loan officer. Number 1, always apply. Always apply. Put the Spirit of Radio, Betty. Always apply. Submit your application. Submit your reconsideration. Stop asking questions. Do you think it'll happen? What if they do this? What if I have that problem? What if I have to? Listen, put it in there. Let the SBA tell you. They'll tell you. They give you feedback. They'll say, "Okay, send us a tax return." You'll be shocked. You're like, "Wait, they want a tax return? I was sure I wouldn't get the loan." Okay. So that's always apply. Golden rule. Next, patience persistence with the process leads to
results.
boom.
Oh,
And my most important rule, which hangs on the wall in my home office here at Aurora Consulting, results are the only thing worth talking about. So all the static that you cause for yourselves when you're thinking and overthinking, and oh my God, is this going to work? Is that going to work? Get it in there.
yeah.
And keep pushing and being persistent, and don't take no for an answer. I don't take no for an answer. That's how I got this girl. She tried to get rid of me.
Oh my God, are you okay? Drink some water. Okay, I think we're at the end of this Q&A session, and we just want to say thank you so much for joining us this evening. This was our WTF version.
Your water.
This is our WTF version because we did not batch record enough video for today. So we just want to say thanks so much for joining us. And any parting words?
We're done?
We're done.
Oh, I thought we were going to talk about this for a while.
No. What? No.
Okay, I have got some housekeeping to do. First of all, you watch us in the replay, hit that thumbs up button.
Because I usually edit these now, and it takes forever to edit.
We have an argument about this because she said, we shouldn't tell people to subscribe and thumbs up. But when I decompress at the end of an 18-hour day.
Connecticut, 2020 online.
When I decompress at the end of the day with my iPad and watch a couple of YouTube videos, and I'm watching some 1954 black and white crime drama or some Rush video or some Ferrari video, and you like it, guess what? You have to remember and to hit the like button and the thumbs up. So that's why we want to remind you on the replay, hit the thumbs up. Also subscribe, hit the bell. Aurora Consulting, we do EIDL, and we get results for people. We charge a very reasonable flat fee because the SBA does not allow us to charge anything more than a certain type of flat fee within a certain range. You want to find what that is, you book a free 15-minute consultation.
Just be careful of people who are saying they can charge a percentage on the fee. I'm sorry, a percentage on the loan. That is a big no-no. And also that they can guarantee a result. Big no-no.
Nobody can guarantee a result.
That is a huge red flag.
We don't guarantee results. And in fact, the fee is not contingent on result. I want to point out something else. There's a spammer company sending out tons of spam. You are pre-qualified for $500,000 for an EIDL loan. Nobody can pre-qualify you for an EIDL. Nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Even me, with 12 months of doing EIDLs and becoming an expert, and combine that with my loan officer brain and having funded dozens and dozens and dozens of SBA EIDL loans and working on reconsiderations and getting them approved, I cannot pre-qualify you. People ask me all the time, like, so what do you think of my chances? I go, my chances are we're going to keep going until we get a result. That's what we do here, but we can't pre-qualify you. Okay. Oh, I co-signed this message. Yes, Alicia Cobb.
I think the last time when I was trying to sign off, you kept talking and made this.
Well, I need to shout out to Alicia Cobb. So,
of course.
Alicia Cobb's pandemic pivot.
Okay.
She is a QuickBooks expert.
Oh.
If you are having issues with your bookkeeping, we did a series of videos, 5 mistakes.
We actually, can I just tell you, okay.
Well, let me plug Alicia first.
I didn't upload. Okay.
So we did a series of videos called 5 Mistakes Business Owners Make. And one of those is failing to put some basic fundamental systems and operations in place when you launch your business. So all of you folks out there who are watching us who are new or newer, reach out to Alicia Cobb, because she will do an amazing job and get you squared away on your books with QuickBooks, and you will thank us for this.
Yeah, it was funny. So we did a presentation last October. It was 5 mistakes business owners make. And I split that up. I was going to split that up into 5 shorter videos for our WTF Wednesday. And I had 3 up. But, our channel has really become known for disaster financing and EIDL loans. So when I started putting up these WTF mistake videos, they fell They fell totally flat, like couldn't even get over 50 views, and So I still have mistake number 4 and 5 that have not
soon
been
to come up.
soon to come. When,
by the way, this is a classic Linda and Trevor conversation here at the house. This chick's talking about marketing because she is the marketing goddess. Okay, that's making a lot of noise on our microphone.
Sorry,
I'm the tech guy. She's the marketing goddess.
Marketing is magical.
And I am the loan officer. And we are a lethal combination to support you to get through this pandemic.
That is
we got
true.
your back. I want to just
Bob the Builder.
Hey Bob, I thank you so much, Bob. I want to throw this out there to you. Up until Monday of this week, when folks call us for our 15-minute free consultation, we really do strive to give free expert advice, both here on YouTube and on the phone for the free advice. Thank you, Robert. We believe in the value of giving away expert advice and showing you folks how you can do it yourself. But I came to a realization over the weekend because I have worked on since last Thursday something like 110 files in preparing them for the EIDL reconsideration that was coming on April 6th. And as I looked at the files, and we've signed up some new clients recently, and I'm seeing the kind of mistakes that you folks make on documents, on applications, on just basic understanding. Like we have a new client who filed his EIDL under one of his 2 LLCs, right? And without getting into all the details, when I looked at his tax returns today, I realized he has 2 LLCs. He does online sales, but he files a Schedule C. So essentially, he should have not filed as an LLC on one business. He should have combined the income from both businesses because both Schedule Cs show that he is a sole proprietor, self-employed person, and applied that way. See, that's loan officer brain. So Monday, I said to Linda, we're going to change our messaging. And here's our messaging, folks. I keep saying it over and over, but really I am. I'm a loan officer. I did it for 3 decades. I'm a loan officer now helping our clients to wade through the morass of the SBA process. I think differently than you do. And I can't teach you how to do it. I don't care how many of these videos we do. I don't care how many calls we give away free advice. I don't care how many blogs we write. I cannot teach you how to be a loan officer and how to be successful. I'm a loan officer. You're not. One of our 5 mistakes videos that we did, 5 mistakes, is recognizing as a business owner what you suck at. Because when you acknowledge and you write it down what you suck at doing, guess what that helps you with? Delegating to professionals who don't suck at it. Like if you suck at QuickBooks, guess what? Alicia Cobb will help you with QuickBooks. If you think you're going to suck at EIDL, call us up. You'll find the fees very reasonable and we'll get it done for you because results are the only thing worth talking about.
Well,
she just kicked me under the table.
I kicked you under the table. So with that, I will try to sign off again so you guys can go and have dinner or spend time with your family, or depending on what time zone, you can have lunch or whatever, wherever you are.
The turkey pot pie right before you started shooting.
I know. So thank you so much again for joining us. We really appreciate it. Our live shows used to be all comments coming from Facebook. And now they're all coming from YouTube. And I got to tell you, that warms my heart very, very much. We appreciate
all of you so very much for following us and,
thank you.
And listening to us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're in this together.
This is my talking face, Linda Ray. My talking face right here.
Mwah.
And I'm the talking face, Trevor. But we don't shout at the camera. And we give you information that is real and accurate. And we don't make stuff up.
Well, sometimes we don't know because we're waiting to.
When we don't know, you know what we actually say? We say we don't know.
With that,
we're Aurora Consulting, disaster financing solutions for your pandemic success story. Whoa.
I like that. Stay safe, everyone. Stay healthy. Ciao.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.